Hello, gentlemen and ladies. Welcome back to Detective Grimoire, which we will probably be finishing within the next, I don't know, half hour or so. We're very close to the end, I think. 91% complete? Yes. So when we left off, we had examined almost everything and talked to almost everyone and done almost everything in the game. One thing that we haven't gone through and done is assigned a truth to any of these. One of the things that I thought was going to be like the really interesting thing in this game is this idea that you take these statements and say that certain ones are not suspicious. And it's weird that, like, it's not like it changes from suspicious to true.
Suspicious.
In fact, now I'm not even sure, does this mean that I find the fact suspicious, or that this fact makes that person suspicious, you know, of being the, well, no, I guess we don't suspect that he, yeah, maybe that doesn't make any sense.
What?
Oh? Oh?
So we're missing a lot of his information. Let's go back and talk to him. Even though I think that's what we just did before we ended Tuesday's stream.
Oh?
Oh? Oh, that's right. And I still appreciate this so much. The things that we've already showed him are grayed out, so that we know. No need to show that again.
I'm afraid I have no idea. Show it to somebody else. This is the journal, correct? The one that man left here 60 years ago?
You seem a little unsure of the details. Shouldn't you have read up on all this stuff?
Forgive me. It's hard for me to get the image of Boggy as the lovable cartoon character out of my mind. He's just so iconic. Did you know, in 1973, he...
But you're protesting to protect the real swamp creature. The cartoon character is just some commercial byproduct, right?
Yes, of course.
How suspicious. What actually did we... Is a fan of the Boggy cartoon character. Something tells me he's going to turn out to be the killer. Right? He's got something of a motive. He would have made the costume. Yeah, it's totally him. Slap the cuffs on him. Not a talented artist. Oh, is that the hint that
Looks like this eye.
Is that the hint that he did not make the costume himself? Or no, that he did make the costume himself and it sucks.
That music. Wait, is it?
So,
What can you tell me about your relationship with Richard Remington?
we didn't really have one, and now we definitely don't have one. But look, all I can say is that he was a coward who enjoyed watering down history for his own benefit.
What does that mean?
It means there are some chapters of this swamp's history that he never wanted anyone to know about.
Did he like you sniffing around this museum all the time?
I don't think he knew, to be honest. And even if he did, there's nothing he could have done about it. He has no right to this building. He knows that. We both know that.
Why not? It was part of his tourist attraction, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. This file goes over some basic differences between the genuine creature and the cartoon character. It's nothing more than a basic overview, really. This is just a piece of junk they sell to tourists. It has no resemblance to the real creature. Well, this design is some bizarre hybrid between the real creature and the cartoon character. I have no interest in something like that. Obviously. The real swamp creature had claws. 3 on each hand, to be precise. Why does the costume just have these pathetic fins instead?
I may need to turn this back up a little bit. Perfect. Flawless.
Guesswork. Nobody can know what Boggy's feet look like. It's his greatest secret. You're wasting your precious time, detective. So, you found it. I wonder who else knows about it.
The screen goes dark every time I mention that photo to somebody.
A good example of how Boggy's feet are never shown in any form. They often use that little red bucket to hide them. Actually, this is a classic example of a cryptid photograph.
What's a cryptid?
A creature unknown to science. Look at the slight blurring in this photo, the murky exposure. It's perfect.
It's perfect because it can't really be used as evidence?
Now you're catching on. I've never seen that before, and I never want to see it again.
Let's see here. Who first?
Yeah. We didn't have anything else drippy to give to her.
If you bring me something with liquid on it, I might be able to help you.
Yeah, does she not accept anything at all? Oh,
You can put that away. I can't help you with it.
no.
This is a 60-year-old journal. It was on display in a museum.
I know what it is.
I thought you might. I'm supposed to look to the past, right?
So this happened when I showed her the swamp creature photo. Is Boggy actually dead? Could be. He hasn't been sighted in 60 years. No, he didn't build the museum. He founded Boggy's Bog.
Richard Remington founded Boggy's Bog when the swamp creature was discovered by the explorers 60 years ago. I don't get it. Seriously.
Nope, I messed up. Swamp. Oh, no, wait. She was living in the swamp when the swamp creature...
Lady Weybridge was living in the swamp when the swamp creature was discovered by the explorers 60 years ago. Lady Weybridge. She was living here when Boggy was first discovered by the explorer.
Okay,
I've been looking into the history of this place.
Oh, really? Did you find anything?
Yeah. You.
You must be confused. You found me today when you barged into my house. Remember?
You were living in the swamp. I just said that. You created the myth of the swamp creature yourself to scare people away. I don't think that's it.
You were already living in the swamp when the explorer came here 60 years ago.
The explorer? That man they talk about in the museum?
The one who originally discovered Boggy. You know who I'm talking about. His sketches and notes are the only real evidence we have for this creature.
You already have his journal. You learned to read, I assume. What else do you need?
I think you wrote something in the journal yourself. There's a page missing from the journal. I need you to tell me if the journal is a fake. Is there a page missing? Is there?
There's a page missing from the journal. I think you know where it is.
Why on earth would I know something like that?
Because you were the only person here when the explorer visited the swamp. I have a suspicion that the swamp creature wasn't the only thing he discovered.
You're suggesting he gave me a page from the back of his journal. Or what, that I stole it?
You took it from the journal while it was on display? You stole it from him before he left the swamp? Can I just say I have no idea? Because I have no idea.
I really have no idea. If I could see it, I might be able to make up my mind.
It doesn't belong in a museum.
It belongs in a museum.
With me.
No.
You understand?
What if I promise I'll return it after I finish clearing up this mess?
Then I'll show it to you.
Is this you? He drew you into his journal? It's beautiful.
60 years ago, yes. He left the page with me. We agreed the rest of the world would manage without it.
I think there's something on the back. What's this? Footprints.
The lost page ripped out of the explorer's journal, given to Weybridge by the explorer 60 years ago, features a drawing of Lady Weybridge at 20 years old. Also features drawings of Boggy's feet and footprint. He has 2 toes at the front and 1 at the back. This page proves the footprints found outside the office were not made by the real Boggy. Which we kinda knew already, right? So there's still somebody that we could show the headpiece to. And that's it? Showing the headpiece to someone is the very last, the very last clue. And something at the protest. I showed her the headpiece, yes. So I don't actually know how I triggered the end of the game.
Why don't you show that to someone else?
What? That is not something from my gift shop.
Oh,
I've never seen it before.
go figure, it was her. Doodaloo.
A rather It's... Looks like the eye... Looks like These...
Look at those petals.
Looks like this I'm impressed, and It's a he's...
I don't have any idea what this number is, right? I mean, it belongs to this guy.
A man who has sacrificed luxuries to protect those who need protecting. Pretty good beard, too.
Don't think there's...
The murder victim.
Since last night, yeah. But he was the owner of Boggy's Bog. Did you know him?
Not personally. To be honest, I'm quite glad about it.
So there's still something that we need to present to him that's going to unlock his challenge, right? He's the only locked challenge left.
You're asking the wrong person. You're wasting your time with that one. Ah, yes, Agent Folder.
Ah, yes, you
A
said.
good man.
You know him?
We get on rather well, and we shared a number of views on the way things were run around here. He seems like a good person. He even sympathizes with my cause.
He agrees with your protest? But he works here, right? And he was friends with Remington.
I think that was the only reason he worked here. Maybe he'll see the light now and leave the swamp behind him. Maybe everyone will.
It's telling me 100% over there. I don't know what that was measuring. We've only 100%ed one thing.
I have nothing to say about them. You're asking the wrong person.
Alright, so we've presented him with every person. There must be some clue that we present to him.
No thanks, my friend.
Do-do-do.
I'm afraid I have no idea. Show it to somebody else.
Oops. Back.
No thanks, my friend. I'm afraid I have no idea. Show it to somebody else. No thanks, my friend. I'm afraid I have no idea.
It's got to be one of these, right? Has every challenge question come from presenting a clue to
Show it
someone?
to somebody. No thanks, my friend. I'm afraid I have no idea. Show it to somebody else. Why are you carrying that around with you?
I have a suspicion it may have been the murder weapon.
Really? I thought Remington was attacked by something with claws, wasn't he? No thanks, my friend.
No thanks, my friend.
I'm afraid I have no idea. Show it to somebody else.
Alright, so there's nothing else that we can present to him. This clue must mean that there's somebody that we have to ask about him, and that will... We already asked him.
I suppose you've met with our murder victim, Richard Remington.
Yes, I've been in and out of this place for a while now. Naturally, I've crossed paths with Remington a number of times. Good value, that one. A real raconteur, you know.
You liked him? So far, I'm getting the impression he wasn't the most popular guy around here.
Well, that much is clear, isn't it? The man obviously slipped up somewhere, made an enemy or two, and bam, that's that. You just can't be too careful, can you?
Yeah, I think he did have an enemy or two. Or three. But you liked him.
I respected him. Good head on his shoulders. Good business sense, that man. He understood how to make things work for him.
Good business sense. Is that a clue? Is that a puzzle?
I don't really have time to be looking at items from your collection. I simply don't have time to help you with this.
Oh, yes, I know him. He occasionally asks me about the history and biology of the swamp creature.
Does
I
he
explained
now?
to him what the real Boggy looks like and how they changed his appearance for the cartoon character.
Why did he ask about that?
Because some people are naturally curious. You should give it a try sometime.
That wasn't a hint? Come on.
Let's see.
Do-do-do.
Some. Well,
I'm not even sure who that is.
It's here a lot. I think he's been putting less effort into his protests recently, which is a shame. I think it's an admirable cause.
do you talk to him much?
Not really. Sometimes he likes to talk, just casual conversation. He asks how business is going and what everyone likes to eat, nothing of real importance.
How suspicious. He asks what everyone likes to eat, you say.
Hey. Yeah, I have a pretty good view of him from here. Anyone supporting animal rights is okay in my book. His protest used to have a bit more energy, though. He spends more time inside his tent these days.
What's he doing in there?
I'm happy to say, I don't know.
There might be something I can ask Echo about. Echo spends less time holding the protest sign and more time in his tent. I wonder if Echo can tell me what he's been doing that's more important than his protest.
So this should give us the final... Again, I don't know how to end the game, necessarily.
I heard you've been spending less time protesting recently and more time, in your tent. Normally I wouldn't pry, but it's my job to ask...
Untouched people have even noticed something like that. I usually get the impression everyone else is doing their best to ignore me.
The fried egg's
So,
the killer.
you admit it's true?
You can put your notebook away. There isn't really any reason for it. Nothing worth writing down, at least.
Well, if it's not worth writing down, maybe it's worth hearing.
In that case, you'd forget it.
How do you know? Maybe it would echo in my mind.
Look,
These
if you take a guess and get it right, I promise not to deny it.
Let's work out why Echo was hidden away in his tent. Notebook time.
I have a silly nickname. Doing his taxes. I don't know what this is. It is sleeting inside of his tent.
You've been in your tent, hiding from Boggy.
Why not?
Wait, what?
I think it's time I went to talk to Officer James.
The beginning of the end. Alright, so I have everything except for one thing, which I'm obviously going to go get before I just end the game. And it's in here. It's in the tent.
I'm impressed someone and I...
Is there something that I know about Boggy? A 4-digit number. What's the current year? I guess that's the only thing it could be. The weird white thing with the collar around it. I don't know. The last thing has gotta be in there. I guess.
You finally returned. Well, did you find the swamp creature? Where is he?
I didn't find him.
What? You're not getting paid to wander about aimlessly, Grimoire. Get back out there.
I don't need to.
Wait, maybe I should go back. I don't want to miss my chance to 100% it if it's really just that one thing. Should I go guess a 4-digit number?
I'm impressed someone and it's a color piece.
No, we've never been. There hasn't been anything. Did I get started on Bakano? Yeah, I did. I watched the first 5 episodes or so. Whatever the one was that ended with the guy getting like snatched out of the window, which was funny because like they do that whole, what's it called, rail tracer, right? The story of Rail Tracer, and then you know they end that episode with the guy going like, he just disappeared, and then what? And I'm like, wait, what was that? And then I go, oh wait, why in the world did I doubt that Rail Tracer existed when we're like, there's immortals and stuff, like there's already magic. Why did I doubt that? But I am loving Bakano. It's very good. All right, I guess we're gonna go on ahead.
Why not? I thought he was our prime suspect.
Well, not anymore.
Didn't you find photographic evidence of Boggy from last night? Let me see that photo. If that's not Boggy, what is it?
It's a costume.
I found designs for the costume in a trash can. Not only that, I collected all the pieces of the costume myself. Well, nearly all of them. There's still the one that...
But the footprints at the scene of the crime! How can you prove these don't belong to a real creature?
The missing
What's
page.
this? I thought there were no records of a footprint anywhere.
No public records. The footprints at the crime scene don't match the ones on this page. They were just a product of these slippers. A part of the costume.
But Grimoire, this costume, it doesn't have claws of any kind. How do you explain the 3 wounds on the victim's chest?
How do you explain the 3 wounds on the victim's
The
chest?
claws match up with the wounds perfectly. The handle's even covered in slime, see?
Ah, but this swamp slime was one of the reasons Boggy became a suspect in the first place. Surely this only incriminates the creature further.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? But that slime, it's not exactly what you think.
It isn't? Is it swamp juice?
This stuff is an uncanny resemblance to the so-called swamp slime. A bunch of it was stolen from the storeroom of the cafe, which reminds me.
What is that exactly?
A poisoned hot dog. It's the second reason that the murderer broke into the storeroom. He put this green powder on the entire supply, just to make sure.
To make sure of what?
To make sure no one would ever eat at the cafe again.
To make sure Remington got ill and had to return to his office.
Remington went back to his office? Alone?
The murder.
I've been looking through your evidence, Grimoire. One piece in particular seems critical to me.
The skeleton
We need to
arm with
work
glue
out
on
first.
it. I know.
Vincent Vanderpeer filmed it last night, at the exact moment of the murder, I believe.
Well, exactly. I think we can both agree these sounds in the background. They're essential in our mystery. Could you talk me through them? Just rearrange the descriptions on the left to match the sounds on the right. Drag them around and keep swapping until you're happy with the order. And if you want to hear the sounds again, you can tap on them.
No problem. I can always check my case file if I want to go over my notes.
Kathwang.
I think that's it.
I think that's it too.
Excellent. There's just two small
He
details.
would have gotten away with it too.
First of all, if Remington ripped off a piece of his curtains, why wasn't it found at the crime scene? What happened to it?
Stuffed it into the helmet. The head.
Turns out the murderer took that piece of fabric and concealed it inside the head of the costume.
Sound
Then he
puzzle.
flipped the
I
crime
like
scene to
sound
hide all
puzzles
the
though.
parts in
Don't I?
different areas of the swamp.
I mean,
Well, that's
except
my
for the
problem.
missed one.
If Remington fired his rifle, how did the assailant survive and manage to escape? Did Remington miss his target?
At point blank? A man of his experience? I don't think so. In fact, the answer to that question is the very
Is in this
last link
manga
in our
that I'm
chain.
writing.
The one thing that has eluded me so far. I'll drag the clue items from the left onto my drawing here, and we'll see what happens when we compare the pieces I collected with the original design I found.
It's a real head scratcher. Oh, I don't know if I can do it. Hello, I am the murderer.
Wait, you never found the body piece, the torso.
You're right, and I never would have found it. Not lying around. Not like the others.
But what does this have to do with the murderer surviving the rifle shot?
It's
This
your blanket.
torso is probably made out of some thick material. Something covering the culprit's entire upper body. I believe it may have even been enough to
To
soften...
soften the impact from a bullet. Aha!
What?
Exactly.
Well, let's put your theory to the test. Where is that last piece of the costume? But how? We looked everywhere. Not a single clue.
Simple. He's still wearing it.
Oh, I thought it was inside his tent. Should I go back, though? They make it sound like I'm never gonna get to go in the tent.
I don't know what you want with me. Sounds like you two were smart enough to uncover the real criminal in this swamp, and lucky enough to have somebody else deal with him for you. You worked it out. He had his rifle on him. He got half a glance at me and pulled the trigger without hesitation.
But why would he do that? You were dressed as Buggy. He shouldn't be pointing his gun at a unique scientific specimen, not to mention his main attraction.
You're right. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, does it? Not unless you're in on the secret.
My lost hat! Richard Remington. No. Oh. The hunting photo. Yes. Here we go. Here we are.
I can't do it if
The
you're
hunting
watching.
photo
If you-
leads me to believe
Awesome.
turn
Blind
around.
Empire, thank you for the host.
All right.
Hunt Bobby.
Can't do it if you're leering at me. It's creepy.
Final chapter. The Hunter and the Hunted.
A secret society, an order of hunters, seeking out mysterious and elusive creatures.
The order goes further than this one man, and much further than this one swamp.
The whole thing is kind of distressing. I knew something was wrong as soon as I stepped into that office.
I'm glad you've finally come around. It's not just
But
the...
what about Remington? He was a member of this order?
He made Boggy his own personal project. his own obsession. For years he hunted the creature, the potential perfect addition to his collection.
But he owned the tourist attraction. He set it up himself, didn't he?
He did. It was just his way of forming a legal loophole. Since the area became protected, he and his friends were unable to come here for hunting anymore. Boggy Spawn was just a front for his own little game. A man pursuing a creature.
A creature that might not even exist.
And that's why Remington kept a rifle nearby at all times?
Well, exactly. He didn't want to take any chances.
Now, don't you see? I did this place a service. Did Boggy a service. That creature, he can live in peace again.
Can he? You tried to frame him for murder. You wanted everyone to think he was some kind of ruthless predator?
Well, think about it. Once he became suspected of murder, they'd have no choice but to shut this whole place down. Everyone would finally realize they had no business here.
You can't handle the truth.
You didn't have the right. You shouldn't have your...
Detective.
You. It's...
It's finished. Well, don't be angry. You should be glad. It's finally time to leave the swamp. You have another job to do.
I don't know.
Not that it makes any difference to somebody like you, but I never intended to kill him. Just to scare him. Convince him.
Yeah, it's I think it's on sale for like $1 right now since the Steam Winter Sale started.
You worked out the rest yourself.
Can I throw him these dots? I'm gonna throw him these dots.
Well, Mr. Everstone, I'm afraid you'll still have to come with us. Fortunately, there's a police station just a few miles down.
Hey, wait!
Wait, it's the real Boggy. How abrupt. He was here all along. But yeah, it's essentially, I mean, aside from the fact that it's voiced, it is basically like on par with what you'd expect.
More than one mystery tonight.
On par with like a free-to-play little detective game. The real Boggy was within you a whole time. Oh, no, wait, he's real. Yep, there's Aaron Hansen. They're in a hurry to get through these credits. They're like, we're sorry, the ending theme song is only 30 seconds long. We have to... Look at this, look at that guy. We're done.
Grimoire.
Well, what did they decide to do?
We had Mr. Everstone questioned. He was happy to tell us everything he knew. A number of rumors going around the department.
This is strangely Metal Gear Solid-like.
And Remington's office?
Searched down to the last detail. And, well, we agree with you. But I know what you're thinking. I'd love to put an end to it, just the same as you. But there's always...
Are we going after them?
We'd better be.
Ba-da-ba-ba. No, wait. So, can I go back in? Can I go back in? There's only one clue. There's only one thing in the whole game that I did not find. And it's gotta be what's inside the tent.
It's a copy.
But, they also like, yeah, they also like... The real Boggy was the friends we made along the way, in that I think we just literally made friends with Boggy. He did give me my hat back.
It's a...
Where is there anything that would indicate a number? I've already seen all the clues and stuff. I also never got to do any of this. The So can I just like
Not suspicious. Not suspicious.
No, wait, hang on. What is the... Oh, did I... So there's an achievement that I didn't get for speaking to her?
You again. Ready with some cryptic advice, no doubt?
Don't let them take him.
Who? The murderer? That's my job. I gotta make sure that they...
No, the creature. Don't take him away. This place is his home.
Oh, Boggy. Hey, don't worry. I didn't really
Oh yes,
believe
it totally says tap everywhere.
responsible for this mess.
You didn't?
Well, no. I've always known who the murderer was, and it's not Boggy.
So, he won't get in trouble? You won't have to leave?
Well, he's been out here for what, 60 years, hasn't he? And stayed out of trouble for that long. I have a feeling some detective isn't going to change all that in one day.
Well, in that case, he says... Thank you.
I thought he was gonna say 7501 or something. Draw a cute ghost in your notebook. I did not get that achievement.
Those trees. Notice.
Did I miss my chance? Or do I get to do it again? I can do it again.
Time, normal. So,
You...
what?
In...
How do you... No. You've been hiding in your tent because the swamp is haunted.
Why not?
And no... No.
Raining? So can I just, like...
You've been in your tent because it's been raining.
Why not?
Is taxes? Hold on.
In that...
Is that the is that the deal that I never...
Notebook time. You've been hiding in your tent from the tax man.
Why not?
Says the challenge was complete from none of those actually did anything. Now I have to try 7501. I suppose I do. No. Get inside the tent is an achievement. But how?
It's a piece.
There hasn't been a single... like, I would have noticed if there was a number. If there was a number somewhere... 2045, that would be silly. Oops. No numbers, no numbers, no numbers, no numbers, no numbers. 24 is not the number I'm looking for. 1963? That's a number.
I'm impressed. It's echoes. It's heat.
Should I look it up? Does he have a birthday? Hold on. His challenge was... That's weird. For his challenge, he didn't actually... like, I didn't have to get it right or anything? No matter which of the things you pick... Because I noticed when I picked Boggy, he said, why not?
What? So...
Do I know what year it is here? I do not.
I'm impressed.
I mean, I tried 1963. Because that was a number that was given. Could be one of the 1950s. Brute force. Right? But yeah, I don't know what year it is. But it would have been one of those, one of the 1950s or 1960s. Well, 1950s. 1960 was just because that was one of the dates. 63 was one of the dates we were given. Is there anything on the sign out here?
Is an opera to character. It's an old statue.
Do I want more numbers? I get, like, this is not going at the top of my list of achievements, like, blind 100% playthrough of Detective Grimoire. If somebody has an idea or just looks it up outright, I'll take it. The copyright date for the cartoon. Oh, because he did say he liked the cartoon, too. Aha.
It's a journal. I guess it belongs to Echo. Bad news. Remington is dead. I don't know what to do. Was my whole protest in vain? They'll shut this place down, sure, but I'll never know if I got through to him. That's all he's written.
Due diligence. There's one more achievement. Full suspicion on culprit, none on anyone else. So is that how it works? That would seem to be how it works.
Oh?
Not suspicious. Not suspicious. Not suspicious. Not suspicious.
Oh?
Oops, wait, back.
Not suspicious.
Even though it's not like every one of his, Yeah, I don't know that each one of those clues makes him suspicious. That's not the case.
Not suspicious. Suspicious. Not suspicious. Not suspicious.
So,
Not suspicious.
I wonder if, because I guess there are other games in this series, I wonder if in the other ones this like a similar mechanic works like this.
Not suspicious. Not suspicious. Not suspicious. Not suspicious.
Hey,
Did that do anything? It did. I got the achievement. 100%. We're done. We're done here. Alright. So that was Detective Grimoire. Decent? I can't really complain at having only paid like $1 for it. It was, like I said, aside from the fact that it was voice acted, and the voice acting was okay at parts. Some of them were good. Folder's voice in particular was pretty good. Overall, not like a terribly memorable game, but for you know 3 hours, it was fine. There weren't really any puzzles though, aside from just that one, just right here. The only puzzle in the game was the one that I didn't do, the one that Volt and Phase came through.